What if the most beautiful painting you've seen this year was made by a machine? AI can copy Van Gogh's brushstrokes, but can it capture his heartbreak? AI art is technically brilliant, but why does it feel hollow? Brands like Coca-Cola, Balenciaga, and Netflix are already using AI for creative work. Are we ready for that future? Is art still human if a machine made it? What separates a masterpiece from just another image? When machines imitate us, do we lose what makes us special? Machines don't get heartbreak, nostalgia, or irony. Can they ever really make art? Jason Allen used an AI-generated piece of art to win the Colorado State Fair in 2022, but critics were quick to argue that it does not have a soul. AI can replicate the brushstrokes, color palettes, and composition of human artists, but it does not stay up at night, haunted by a war like you see in Picasso's Guernica. So that raises the question, can AI make art that feels truly human? I mean, AI-generated art can look so convincing. It is easy to forget what's really happening behind the scenes. In 2023, a Midjourney-generated portrait titled Synthetic Summer went viral on Reddit and Instagram, with thousands of people mistaking it for a real photograph. But there's a reason these AI-generated images look so realistic. Models like DALL-E, Midjourney, and Stable Diffusion are trained on colossal, massive data sets. We're talking millions upon millions of images scraped from the open web. Lion 5B, for example, contains over 5 billion images, which is crazy. And according to Stability AI, these datasets contain everything from classical paintings to modern photography, all created by human beings. And these models learn to identify and reproduce the patterns, colors, and forms that humans find meaningful. AI can convincingly mimic the brushworks of Van Gogh. It can replicate the dreamy palettes of Claude Monet and the bold compositions of Frida Kahlo. But it's not drawing from heartbreak. It's not drawing from nostalgia or a personal vision. It's calculating probabilities and then assembling pixels based on what it's seen before. Take Hayao Miyazaki's work at Studio Ghibli, for example. Spirited Away took years of painstaking effort, with Miyazaki personally storyboarding every scene and infusing each frame with memories, fears, and hopes. The emotion in Chihiro's journey isn't just the colors or lines. It is in the experience behind them. AI, by contrast, doesn't feel anything. It doesn't feel wonder, sadness, happiness, or anything else. Not even awe. It generates images in seconds using statistical models, not lived memories. A 2023 study in Cognitive Research Principles and Implications found that while people often rate AI-generated art as technically impressive, they describe it as emotionally flat or hollow compared to human work. So what you see is a reflection of human creativity, filtered and recombined at high speed. The spark of true originality, the jump from emotion to expression, remains out of reach for the machine. But this is not enough to stop AI from transforming how creative industries work and function behind the scenes. In 2023, the New York Times reported on how generative AI tools like DALL-E are outperforming at everything from illustration to advertising, with agencies like Ogilvy and WPP now integrating AI-generated visuals into major campaigns for brands like Nestlé and Coca-Cola. In Hollywood, studios, including Netflix and Marvel, have started using AI to generate concept art, storyboards, and even early character designs, dramatically speeding up the pre-production timelines. And all that is only raising millions. The global AI image generator market was valued at $257 million in 2022. By 2023, it jumped to nearly $300 million. Projections from industry analysts expect it to move to over $917 million by 2030. There's no hype in this, it's just math. This is just the growth that people are expecting, but it is a fundamental shift in how ideas get made. Interior designers use tools like Midjourney and DALL-E to whip up dozens of mood boards and concept sketches in minutes. something that used to take days. Filmmakers generate quick visual storyboards, testing out season lighting before a single camera rolls. Advertisers use AI to brainstorm campaign visuals, then handpick and refine the best ideas. This way, everyone is getting more options, faster feedback, and less time wasted on dead ends. Great artists use AI to brainstorm, then refine and filter through their human taste. Take Rafik Anadol, for example. He's a pioneer in digital art. He feeds AI models massive datasets, like satellite images or museum archives, to generate raw material, and then he curates and edits the results. The human touch is what shapes the final piece. Fashion designers at brands like Balenciaga and interior architects at Gensler now rely on AI for rapid prototyping, but the finished product is always filtered through human taste and judgment. AI is changing the pace and process of creativity, not the need for human vision. The people who survive in this new era are the ones who know how to use it to push their ideas further, deeper, and faster. But even with all its data, AI consistently struggles with something. It can reproduce any style, but it doesn't get an inside joke or the hidden meaning. When researchers tested AI-generated poetry against human work in 2024, readers consistently found that AI's attempts at metaphor and irony fell flat. They were technically correct, but it was missing the point. Picasso's Guernica was a raw outpouring of rage and grief in response to the bombing of a small Spanish town. Van Gogh's Starry Night came from months of mental turmoil and obsession. These works are soaked in personal struggle, trauma, and experience that AI cannot have, no matter how advanced the algorithms or how massive the data set is. Even the most realistic AI outputs do not deliver the kind of happy accidents or flashes of genius that define human art. When Midjourney produces an image, it's drawing from statistical patterns rather than a sudden burst of inspiration. When you look at AI-generated art or read something written by AI, it is natural to start thinking that the machine has intention or emotion behind it. This is called the ELIZA effect. Back in the 1960s, a chatbot named ELIZA tricked people into believing it truly understood them, simply by reflecting their words back in a clever way. Human creativity is famously unpredictable. It's messy, emotional, and often fueled by chaos. AI, on the other hand, is engineered for efficiency, coherence, and predictability. This fundamental difference is why the biggest artistic breakthroughs still come from the human side of the equation. The philosopher David Hume said that people naturally imagine things to have feelings or intentions even when they don't. We give objects or situations qualities like being angry, kind, or scary just because that's how we actually feel. So if you feel something when you see an AI image, it's because you're bringing your own emotions and interpretations, not because the machine feels anything itself. So while AI can simulate conversation and even emotion-like responses, it fundamentally lacks any real desires, dreams, or inner life. It doesn't want, it doesn't hope, and it doesn't fear like humans do. And from this, you get great human art. AI just processes inputs and generates outputs. What AI produces reveals to you and me the patterns, the aesthetics, and desires that we feed into it. The real creativity comes from the human who selects, edits, and comes up with a final result. The spark still belongs to you and me. If this made you rethink what creativity means in the age of AI, share your thoughts in the comments. The future of art is not about what the machine can do, but what we as humans want them to do.